welcome to today's episode of Pop Therapy TV Christmas edition. Woohoo! I absolutely love Christmas time, although it can also be a very stressful time. For many of us, Christmas can be a time of increased anxiety and stress when we've got more and more commitments, Christmas shopping, more money to spend, we've got events to go to, Christmas parties, there's delicious food everywhere. Sometimes it can leave us feeling quite stressed and even unhappy. So today's post is all about some simple tips that you can practice to help look after your stress levels and maintain your mental health during the silly season. Tip number 1, make time for exercise and relaxation. I cannot emphasize this enough. Life gets busy with all of the events and things going on. Often we get caught up and maybe forget about some of our healthier habits. When we engage in exercise, not only does it help us relax and de-stress, lots of different things happen in our body. So exercise helps us to reduce the stress hormones that are generated like cortisol and adrenaline and gives us a rush of endorphins and positive kind of feel-good vibes. Really important to help us take time out of our day, exercise and look after ourselves. Make time for relaxation during the day as well. You might be at a stressful family event and finding it a little bit too much. Take yourself off to another room and just take a minute to slow your breathing down just for a minute. Notice though that you'll probably feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more in control. Make sure that you make time for the activities that help you relax, like meditation, having a nice bath, getting outdoors, connecting with family. All of those things are a protective buffer against some of the stress that goes on around Christmas time. So make time for exercise and relaxation, number 1 priority. Tip number 2, have you overdone it? Have you overspent? Have you eaten too much? Sometimes around the festive season we indulge too much. And often the first thing we do is we beat ourselves up because we haven't stuck to our values or we haven't achieved the goal that we were working on. Look, it's really easy to overdo it around this time of year, but beating yourself up about it isn't going to make you feel any better, and in fact you're probably going to feel a lot worse. Rather than beat yourself up, maybe you could refresh and refocus on your goals and maybe think about one thing that you can do the next day that's going to make you feel more on track. So rather than punishing yourself or depriving yourself, think, well, what's one positive thing I can do that's within my control that's going to get me back on track with healthy eating or sticking to my budget or reducing my alcohol. Whatever it is, just one thing that's within your control. Tip number 3, practice gratitude. For those of you who have seen my vlog on gratitude, you would know that when we practice gratitude, it has all sorts of benefits for our mental health and overall levels of well-being. But around Christmas time, we often get caught up in the material stuff, and sometimes we actually focus on what we don't have and what we want rather than what we do have. So this is a great time of year to practice gratitude. When we practice gratitude, firstly, we have to reflect on the things that we're thankful for, which means that we have to access positive memories, which is really important when we're feeling low. And when we express gratitude to others, it also helps strengthen our relationships and build our social bond. So it's a great thing to do around this time of year. You could practice it around the family table, or you can do it on your own. Make a note in your phone or keep a diary. Write down 3 good things that happened that day and why. Great way to boost your well-being levels. Tip number 4, perform some acts of kindness. Performing acts of kindness is a great way to boost our well-being, feelings of self-esteem, and also to help others. Around Christmas time, focusing on ways that we can help others, like visiting an elderly relative, maybe helping out a family member by cooking something for Christmas lunch, volunteering, doing something kind, maybe putting a present under the wishing tree. All of those things are not only going to help others, but they're also going to give you a positive sense of well-being. One challenge you can try is an acts of kindness day. So studies show that when we increase our overall acts of kindness, it can lead to feelings of improved well-being, but only if we do all of the acts of kindness on one day. So try doing a kindness day where you do 5 acts of kindness, and they don't have to be big or grand. It might just be, helping out a neighbor, letting a car in traffic, baking some cookies for a family gathering, whatever it is. 5 acts of kindness in one day. Give it a whirl. See how you go. And my last tip is plan ahead. Often with Christmas parties and Christmas lunches, we forget about our important goals and values, and sometimes we just get into the fun of things, and before we know it, we've gone to excess, we've eaten too much, we've drunk too much. So before you go to an event, firstly reflect on your values and what are the goals that you want to achieve. Do you value eating healthy? Do you value cutting back and drinking in moderation? If you've got a goal to stick to healthy eating, maybe have a think in advance about the type of foods you eat, or even have a healthy snack before you go so you're not so tempted by the good stuff. If you're planning on cutting back on alcohol, think about a strategy in advance. Do you make every second drink a water, for example, or do you set yourself a maximum number of drinks? Planning ahead is going to make you more mindful of your behavior so that we don't go into autopilot mode. So remember that before you go out, make a plan, stick to the plan. So thanks guys for watching today's episode of Pop Therapy TV. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys next year with a whole bunch of Pop Therapy TV videos. If you like this vlog, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. There's simply no place to go. Ooh, let it snow, let it snow.